Eisenhower, when he came into office, his number one goal was to kind of solve the Great Depression. He runs on this ticket that basically says, we're going to provide you with a new deal, a way of recovering from all of the issues that you've had since 1929. So he comes into office and he immediately starts coming up with all of these different programs to get people back to work. Now, we know this as the 3 R's: relief, recovery, and reform. Okay, so some of these programs, for example, provided immediate relief, such as providing people with food so that they had something to eat and somewhere to go at night. That would be something like your bread lines. Then we had recovery, which is let's get people back to work, because if people are working again, then we're actually going to be improving the economy. And of course, finally, we have reform. We want to make sure that the Great Depression never happens again. So, where I've brought you today, this is in Utah. It's the middle of winter, that's the reason I am wearing my fleece and everything, is actually where one of these programs took place. So one of these programs was called the CCC, Civilian Conservation Corps, and the idea was that they were going to take young men who were in their 20s and they were going to put them to work to build public work projects with the intention that they would get money for their families, and in the meantime we would improve America. So actually a lot of the national parks and things that you guys may have heard of were improved upon by the CCC, and you of course will have another program as well called the WPA that will also do similar things. So here at this point in Utah, we're up in the canyon. Actually, we're very close to where I went to college not too long ago. And in this place is what's called Deer Creek Dam and Deer Creek Reservoir. So what happened, and here we have the reservoir right here, and on the other side we have the dam. So what happened in the 1930s is that Utah went through a lot of depression. And it wasn't just that, but they also went through drought. And so they said, well, we can fix both together by combining a public works project with the need to solve the drought issue. Because, I mean, Utah's kind of in a desert situation. So they brought young men up this canyon to build a dam. And as you can see, it doesn't look like a very large dam. We only see the back side of it, which is holding in the whole reservoir. But this was a fairly large project. It put a lot of people to work, and in the end, it's actually made it so that Utah is better able to control its drought situation. And as a side benefit, now people can take their boats and they have a recreation facility where they actually can have some fun boating. You guys who live on the Gulf of Mexico don't have to worry about finding a place to put your boat. We, in a desert, don't have a lot of water. Okay, so the CCC would be responsible for a lot of other things in Utah and nationwide as well. So for example, they would build a Bravenel Hall, which is a symphony place for people in Utah. And they would go in to build a lot of things within our national park system here in Utah. In Texas, you would have seen similar things as well, such as improving Galveston and improving what would eventually become your national parks further on near to El Paso. Okay? Eventually, all these programs ended after the Great Depression, and we moved on after the war and were able to recover that way. Talk to you more later.